America, listen, I got great news for you. Great news. Just the other day, the president was interviewed, Fox News, by Chris Wallace. And during that discussion, it was concluded, basically to a major degree, that if Trump loses this election, he has no plans to walk out of that office. So that kind of justifies why he's been sticking with dictators on authoritarian systems. So in the event that he needs their support, that he can slip some of those soldiers in and come in and attack we, the American people. And the generals, we all know generals follow orders, and so when the president tells the generals to stand down in this country, they're going to stand down, and many of them will turn their guns against their own people. But the truth of this matter, ladies and gentlemen, is that we the people deserve this. Because we have been so blindsided, we've been so deceived and so misled, that we are one of the most evil nations on the face of the earth. We have oppressed the people for 400 years, treated them as second-class citizens, 3/5 of a human being, and they struggle even today, and we got the white power structure with the police killing them anytime they get ready and getting off with it. Now, tell me, what kind of government do you deserve? You deserve the government, the ugliest government you can get. Why? Because you've been ugly to people of color. The people of this nation, white people, you have been ugly and low down and dirty to people of this country. And in your efforts to try to maintain your power, you have allowed the devil to come in and sit on the throne. Only this time, it's not going to just be black people or people of color. It's going to be all Americans. You too. And now you don't know what to do. Your senators won't help you. They're supporting them because they don't want to have to deal with these dictators. They want to be on the side of the winning power. And the rest of you, it doesn't matter. But God loves you. God loves you. I declare God loves you. And I'm so glad to be able to give you this good news. God says, and it's a simple message, what you have done in the past, correct it now. Be moralistically proper. In other words, treat people the way you want to be treated. And more specifically, what God is saying is to make sure that the needs and wants and desires are met of black people and people of color, just like you want them to happen to you, white people. Make sure that the resources that are essential for survival of this nation, resources that have been given by God, and entitling everybody to their share of it by engaging each one with a career objective that would allow them to participate in the creative process, making them part owners of all that comes back. You know, like people who invest in, with the corporations, invest in this, buy stock in this, and at the proper time they get their kickbacks. I call them kickbacks. Kickbacks are taking advantage of you. Well, this is not taking advantage of anybody. It's everybody doing their cut, everybody doing their share of that which they love to do most, and creating all that we have and being entitled to a cut of it as owners. That way you don't need anything that others offer. We don't need to lie, cheat, steal, kill, terrorize, or war, and we don't need Trump. So what we do, ladies and gentlemen, let's make sure that these things that are essential, that we guarantee them to everybody. Now, the government is not going to do it, but I want you to know that if you make up your mind and you support a candidate who promises beyond a shadow of doubt that you trust, who will do all of these things, will give you leadership in providing these things that you might live amongst yourselves with peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams. In other words, you messed up with people for 400 years. Stand up now, acknowledge and straighten it up and do the right thing. And if you are willing to do the right thing, you don't have to worry about Donald Trump leaving the office. Because if you give your support to what God considers morals, if you give your support for what God considers the proper way to do things, then God will support you. And Donald Trump, after he loses this election, will stand up and walk out of that office just like every other president did, or he will be brought out of that White House with his toes sticking up toward heaven, acknowledging that God is God and not Donald Trump. I've shared with you, you share with others, and we will see what the end is going to be. Thank you so very much.